Now to Mariam Wardak in Washington, D.C. She's the founder of the non-profit Who Afghanistan. It's a pleasure. Thank you for your company on the program. Firstly, your thoughts on the Taliban's decision to now close high schools that were meant to be open today.
Well, I think that it's traumatic, not only to the young girls who are participating in such an event, but to all the women, especially Afghan women who are watching this from abroad. My organization, Her Afghanistan, had to go silent because of how active we were and to make sure that none of the girls were targeted in any way. I find that these emotional plays that the Taliban are holding is wrong. And I don't understand if this has something to do with their policies or if it has to do with someone, with their groups that are in Pakistan or their groups that are in Doha, because the leadership in the country is stating one thing, but the actions are something else.
Can you explain to our viewers who are not familiar with Sharia law, what does it mean that the Taliban wants these schools to be Sharia compliant? Do they see an issue with the young girls going to school? Do they see an issue with the teachers, with the schools? What does that mean exactly?
Well, Sharia is Islamic law. So it's quite confusing when they say that it has to be in compliance with Sharia and Afghan culture because the schools are segregated. There are uniforms. Young girls do wear scarves. This has been the routine for the past 20 plus years. And the only times that they're co-ed is when they go to either private schools, which have been shut down 4 years ago, or if they have go to higher education, such as university or colleges, and that's only private. So there is a confusion on what they want and what they're stating and what's actually taking place. There has been no direct communication on that. And I think that there is a play here. We need to take into account who's responsible for this. I think the past administration, when they fled Afghanistan, and the U.S. administration with Biden leading it, are responsible for this because when they had just left Afghanistan as a blank state for the Taliban are now able to utilize their game as much as they want to. However, if there was a proper transition of power and there was a monitoring mechanism and a healthy way of transferring the power to the Taliban, we could have had inclusion of multiple ethnicities and we could have had girls continue to work and attend schools.
In August, 7 months ago, when the Taliban announced its policy for women's inclusion in society, participation and advancement of education, your nonprofit called for efforts to engage the group to, quote, cultivate an Afghanistan where women feel safe and empowered. In your opinion, has anything been done along those lines?
Absolutely not. We actually called for Islamic scholars around the world to put out a statement on what it means for women to be a participant in society and how they can mold the structure, the governing structure. But no one decided to assist us besides one Islamic scholar who is based in Midwest United States, Hasib. He's quite active and very vocal on social media. But aside from that, nobody in South Asia, nobody in Europe or Africa had decided to reach out. And why? Because this is such a faded gray area where if you speak out, it's like speaking out against your comrades because everyone falls under this Sharia umbrella. But there is no clarity on where you stand because there are extremists and then there's moderates and then there are liberals within Sharia. But no one wants to be highlighted in that sense. If you want to follow another Emirates, you have the Islamic Emirates of UAE. You have Saudi, who are very extreme in their application, but they are allowing women to work and attend to schools and just recently have liberated women into driving and attending into more social engagement activities. However, it seems that the Taliban are not trying to follow those aspects. And then when you look at Pakistan, there's such a confusion on how they address women. You have Pakistan, which is a large country, you have very extreme segments, and then you have very liberal segments. You have women who participate in politics, and then you have certain sections, certain provinces in Pakistan that don't even allow young girls to go to school. So what is the mechanism that the Taliban are following, and who are they communicating, and who are they getting advice from is what's really important.
We appreciate you coming on the program to talk to us about this issue. Mariam Wardak there for us from the non-profit here in Afghanistan. Thank you once more.